Bushe mwalikwata Top Star Decoder. Bushe mwalishiwa kutila kutimwatamba Prime TV2 Zambia pa channel 110 nga chakutila mlefu okumfwa amaliashi ayalekanalekana okufuma kunchende ishapusana. Bakanyekanye mukumipekanisisha amaliashi konse kuntumletu mfuila maliba abaiteanya inshita yonse kumulabasa wenu wa Prime TV2. Prime TV2 omulabasa wenu kumaliashi nembila nsuma mumishi yenu.
A warm welcome to Prime TV2 News, the home of breaking news. My name is Jessie Kalambo. You're watching us live on Top Star Channel 110, as well as Facebook, which is PTV2 Zambia. Be sure to like our Facebook page for more updates. And now the stories that are making headlines. 5 suspected criminals have been shot dead following violent confrontations with police officers in Lusaka's Kalikaliki and Chibulia compounds. A 75-year-old man of Katondo Township in Kabwe Central Province has been reported missing for the past 2 weeks under unclear circumstances. The Opposition Patriotic Front, PF, on the Copperbelt has demanded the resignation of Kitwe Mayor Mposa Mpasa Kasope, Ward Councillor Martin Lombe, and other PF councillors who have defected to the United Party for National Development, UPND. President Hakainde Hichilema has been conferred with an honorary. 5 suspected criminals have been shot dead following violent confrontations with police officers in Lusaka's Kalikiliki and Chibulia compounds. The incident, which occurred on April 9th, 2026, unfolded after police officers were attacked while attempting to apprehend suspects believed to be behind a series of serious crimes. Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi says the operation began around 10 hours when officers from Kalikiliki Police Post acted on a tip of about 4 armed suspects in the area. Mr. Chilabi says a team led by Inspector Mwenda successfully apprehended 2 suspects and recovered offensive weapons including machetes. Rajesh Marcosimisa has the rest of the story.
These are various offensive weapons recovered from suspected criminals involved in attacks on police. The incident started in Kalikiliki, where officers apprehended 2 suspects but were later attacked by accomplices, leading to their escape and leaving 1 officer injured. Police later tracked the suspects to Chibolia, where they were confronted by armed suspects and a hostile crowd. Zambia Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi narrates the scenes as they unfolded.
Around 10 hours yesterday, Kalikiliki Police Post received information from a member of the public that 4 suspected criminals, identified as Joseph Zulu, alias Z Commander, that's a nickname, he was commonly known as Z Commander, and another one, Joseph Lupo, alias J Code, and 2 other unidentified individuals were in Kalikiliki compound. The suspects were armed with various offensive weapons, including pangas. So upon receiving that hint as police, a team of police officers led by Inspector Mwenda, comprising 3 officers and 3 community crime prevention unit officers or neighborhood watch members, was dispatched to the area here in Kalikiliki. The team managed to apprehend 2 suspects and recovered some machetes. Some of the recoveries are the ones that we've just showcased here, while the 2 suspects fled. So while escorting the apprehended suspects, the officers were attacked by their accomplices armed with offensive weapons, leading to the escape of the apprehended suspects. During the attack, Inspector Mwenda sustained a fractured leg, while 1 CCPU sustained minor injuries.
5 suspects were shot and later died at the University Teaching Hospital.
Later the same day, we received intelligence from our sources that the suspects that fled and rescued their colleague here in Kalikiliki were seen regrouping themselves in Chibolia compound. A joint team of our anti-robbery squad, commonly known as C5, and officers from Tendere police station were deployed following up this incident. So upon arrival, the officers were confronted by the suspect, who were armed with pangas, iron bars, and other weapons. I'm sure you've seen some of the weapons that we've recovered here. Thereafter, the suspects charged at the officers and attracted hostile crowd that began throwing stones on the officers. So to restore order and effect lawful arrests, officers discharged firearms in accordance with Section 24 of the Zambia Police Act. So 5 suspected criminals were fatally wounded and were pronounced dead upon arrival at the University Teaching Hospital.
Rajesh Michael Simiza reporting Prime TV News in Lusaka.
A 75-year-old man of Katondo Township in Kabwe Central Province has been reported missing for the past 2 weeks under unclear circumstances. The missing man has been identified as Paul Mwape. His daughter Beatrice Mwape, 50, says she discovered his house door open but found no sign of him inside. Ms. Mwape has since reported the matter to Luansase Police Post and a search operation is currently underway. Joseph Siambihi has the details.
At
Idaya?
Sometimes
it is in this house where 75-year-old Pomwape of Kabwe's Katondo area used to sleep. His blankets and clothes are all available, but the occupant is missing. 50-year-old Beatrice Mwape, a second-born, now explains.
All about Fuminepo, Chadu, which could tell me to Operano, Wadiba, Diabalala, the new chelo to Abukiro to Sangri Tabadim to Sangific Dog open Nava. No bedding you are fine, Valabuira. So to Adomoquativala, we at one days the apita, you know, but one look for and I know Bapanuta Monica. So up to our fisher, Napakwana, not 2 weeks, to a fire to Leamona, to a Limbishako police, so to a to a Filishako, a Chakwa or Monaco. Quata, Nipacho, no Banapina to a little phone tapati. But I feel sometimes when I sang 14, you ready to me phone at over
The matter is before police and the search continues. On the other hand, the Kabwe woman who went missing on International Women's Day is also still missing. Joseph Siambihi reporting Prime TV News in Kabwe.
President Hakainde Hichilema has been conferred with the honorary doctorate of Philosophy in Investment and Enterprise Development by the University of Lusaka, UNILUS. The conferment held at UNILUS Silveris campus in Lusaka marks the 7th honorary doctorate awarded to the presidency's assuming office in 2021. The recognition highlights what the university described as its commitment to implementing policies aimed at promoting excellence in education, as well as advancing investment and enterprise development through visionary leadership. Speaking during the ceremony, President Hichilema emphasized the need to ensure equal access to education, investment opportunities, and entrepreneurship for all Zambian children, regardless of their background or circumstances. Joan Musapila has the rest of the story.
For years, Luapula province has voted along familiar political lines, but now signs are emerging that the tide
You're still watching Prime TV2 News, and we're coming to you live on Topstar channel 110, as well as streaming live on our Facebook page, which is PTV2 Zambia. We now take a break, but still to come, Luapula Province Minister Nasan Musonda has expressed confidence that the province will overwhelmingly support President Hakainde Hichilema in the August 2026 general elections. For these and many more other news items, do not go away.
Takula ndirani kuno kuli Dr. Makanjira. Izoli Dr. Makanjira, kuli Dr. Makanjira kulibe kuyesa. Ndimufunika kuzika kuli Dr. Makanjira kulibe kuyesa. Aliyense wamenazo kwa mafuta yosiana siana. Atumeni Dr. Makanjira akutandizeni. Kaya kuswa kuti mu nyumba mulibe mwana. Kaya kuti nikutupa kwa miendo Dr. Makanjira zwa makwanilisa. Kuma ndikupempa omvera kuna kuli konse wanatemvera. Kuti kuli Dr. Makanjira kulibe zoyesa. aliyense amene akutenga namba yafunika nkhani cholinga chamene kukamba kuti Dr. Makanjira kulibe kuyesa azimayi azibambuna kuli konse kutimvera. Dr. Makanjira kupezeka mboma la Mumbwa, mukafika pa Mumbwa prison paja funsani una aliyense kuti Dr. Makanjira apezeka kuti aza kuuzani. Koma meti makamba kuti vena kumkulira kuti anaenda ukuzibzana sizina usoke. Chamene ngakamba for example chachisanzo kapena kuti example ndichokuti ngati mwatenga muphawula wachikonde kuti Dr. Makanjira sunagwire ntchito Dr. Makanjira aza kupozani ndrama yanu. Ndimene kukamba kuli Dr. Makanjira. Ndimene kukambira kuti kaulapeda ngomena madauta kuti Dr. Makanjira sangafike ife kuna kuli konse kwa mwatifuna ife tingabwere ngati mukuyopa kuti ine silifuna kuti nibwere ku office kwanu ife timafika pa nyumba pano kusewenzerani patanizo amene mufuna ndibena masoza Dr. Makanjira ifakati ku challenge pano kuti Dr. Makanjira kube kuyesa kani pa nyumba pano ife timafika kugwira ntchito amene mufuna ife.
Why keep your business in the dark? Shine a spotlight on your brand with Prime TV2.
Has been a source. Behind me is the Kazongola Bridge, and
we broadcast on Topstar Channel 110 DTH platform and reach an expanding digital audience through our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia.
Projects that have been dotted across the country.
Advertise with us today. Contact our marketing team on 0978 71 9477. Prime TV2, the home of breaking news.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. The Pula Province Minister Nason Musonda has expressed confidence that the province will overwhelmingly support President Hakainde Hichilema in the August 2026 general elections. Mr. Musonda has attributed the anticipated support to government performance, stating that the people of the Pula Province have historically backed administrations they believe are delivering on development. Speaking to PTV2 News, Mr. Musonda has noted that the province has previously supported past presidents, including Levi Patrick Manawasa, Frederick Chiluba, Rupia Banda, Michael Sata, and Edgar Lungu. Favorite Cheesy reports.
For years, Luapula Province has voted along familiar political lines, but now signs are emerging that the tide could be turning. Provincial Minister Nason Musonda says the anticipated shift is...
Yes, to bursaries for our children, beneficiaries under social cash transfer. They have said yes to all these agricultural policies that I've just alluded to. And over and above, they have said yes to political tolerance, peace that we are enjoying. And so I would like to urge our people in Lopland across the Republic that as we head towards a 2026 election, let's go to tell our people what we are going to do for them. For the opposition, craft your alternative messages because free education is already delivered. So if you do not have the important message to tell the people, don't resort to violence, because when you see violence, it simply tells you that somebody already is conceding defeat. It's a good time to be in politics because President Hakainde Hichilema has sanitized the political environment.
The minister says historically, Luapula voters have backed leaders perceived to deliver development, suggesting the current administration is gaining.
And we, the people of Luapula, when we see that the government is performing, we don't go with the opposition. I think the pattern has always been like that. We voted for Manawas, we voted for FTJ, we voted for Rupia Banda, we voted for SAT, they voted for ISIA. But this time around, remember in 2021, because of the hostility, Ulukakala, Uluvuli, which characterized the elections in Luapula province, remember President Hakainde Hichilema was not allowed any single moment to go and campaign in Luapula. And that's the more reason we got very few votes. But now the political environment is very favorable for both the ruling and the opposition.
Mr. Musonda, who is also Kawambo Member of Parliament, has confirmed he will seek re-election.
But within this 1 year, I've been able to buy all the equipment in Kawambo to do our feeder roads. You go back to Kawambo, tell the people of Kawambo, they will tell you that, yes, this man is telling the truth. We've managed to do township roads, gravel, within this short period of time. Let me tell you that I'm defending my seat, and my counterpart in Pambashe is also looking forward to defending his seat, and will deliver 100% seats, parliamentary seats, to President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND. because we don't want to be left behind as the
Favorite GC Prime TV News, Lusaka.
The opposition Patriotic Front PF on the Copper Belt has called on Kitwe Mayor Mphosa Mpasa, Kasombe Ward Councillor Martin Lombe and other PF councillors who have defected to the United Party for National Development UPND to immediately resign on moral grounds. PF Copperbelt's Information and Publicity Secretary Humphrey Kabwe says the affected civic leaders were elected on the PF ticket by residents of Kitwe and the wider Copperbelt, but have since betrayed that mandate by defecting to the ruling party while retaining their positions. Mr. Kabwe has described the move as immoral, stating that it is unacceptable for the officials to continue holding office and receiving public funds after crossing over to another political party. He has further argued that the councillors have violated the PF constitution and should step down to allow for fresh representation. Mr. Kabwe has also called on councillors in Kitwe to raise a point of order to have the mayoral seat declared vacant following Mr. Mpasa's defection.
You want to remain in the office. It is totally immoral to continue holding onto the office when you have defected and joined UPND without shame. Insoni Buntuane. It is unacceptable and retrogressive for you to continue receiving taxpayers' money when you have broken our constitution by crossing to the other side, yet you don't want to resign from the party which took you to that office. Lastly, we call upon all the councillors in Kitwe to raise a point of order against the current Kitwe Mayor, Mphosa Mpasa, and force the seat to be declared vacant. She can't be eating with both hands and continue chairing your meeting when she has betrayed the resident of Kitwe who entrusted her with leadership on PF ticket. Would like to appeal to voters on the Copper Belt not to entertain Kitwe Mayor and other PF councillors who have defected to UPND when they come to seek your vote in this year's election. You voted for them on PF ticket, but they have betrayed you by going to bed with the UPND, which has been mistreating you for the past 5 years with economic hardship. Let's ensure you retire the political defectors who don't want to suffer with you and develop your city.
It's now time for African proverb of the day, which is in Chitonga from Southern Province. Let's take a look. You are welcome to send in your proverb of the day in any local language translated into English with a meaning included. You can send it to PTV2 at PTV2Zambia.com or PTV2Zambia@gmail.com. And we continue with the rest of the news. Renowned Zambian economic expert Kelvin Chisanga has called for a robust and coordinated policy framework that aligns public sector initiatives with private sector investment to drive sustainable national development. Mr. Chisanga says there is need for stronger collaboration between government and industry players to unlock economic potential and ensure long-term growth. He notes that the transport and logistics sector has not received adequate attention despite its central role in facilitating trade and supporting economic development. Mr. Chisanga further observes that the high cost of energy remains a major impediment to progress in the sector, affecting efficiency and investment. He was speaking in an interview with Prime TV News.
An economist, Kelvin Chisanga, has raised concerns with regards to policy formulation and implementation with a view to realize sustainable development across sectors of the economy.
There is a very strong positive equilibrium in terms of what we have underscored around the key joint sectors. But going by seeing some of the gaps that we have been experiencing, I think it's important to look at policy formulation around energy, of which we have seen that there has been a lot of reforms that are also taking place even as we speak right now, which is quite an important aspiration. I think it's more to do also with the giving focus to other sectors that are not given so much of the attention, especially when you look at the transport and logistic aspect. Issues to do with the other sectors that are also centered to link the central law of Zambia. What I should be able to put across is that yes, the cost of energy is one of the key impediments that has taken place over time, from time to time, as we may also speak from that.
Mr. Chisanga notes the need for policy.
There's a need for us to look at policy audit to see which policies are giving substantial effect and development in key sectors. And also we need to also look at how best can we work around the capital formation. The key factor here is that we're also looking at sectors such as the SME sector. There's a need for us to grow that appetite with the SME profile, ensuring that we have a cheaper source of capital stock. That should be able to work out best for the interest of this country.
Joseph Tamaribanda, reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
The Rural Electrification Authority has reviewed 12 out of 19 electrification projects planned for Western Province have already been completed, while new projects are being lined up under current work programs. RIA Chief Executive Officer Engineer Alex Mbumba says this includes the deployment of a mini-grid in Shangombe and Limulunga in line with the government's agenda to boost socio-economic activities in the province through access to electricity. Ms. Mbumba was speaking during the commissioning of the Shimano Grid Extension Project in Kayama Belt at a cost of 4.1 million kwacha, targeting 180 connections. Here are the details.
Amena bwerela 201 sikwenze ooneka bwino awe iyai apa manje kwa nkala malaiti tuoneka bwino manje na madrink vyonse vienda buche bwino ijaji phone na masausage
will be boosted by the access to electricity through the Rural Electrification Authority as part of the larger investment in Western Province. RIA Chief Executive Officer Engineer Alex Mbumba says the authority has been working to increase access to electricity in Kayama to boost farming activities in the area and in Western Province at large, with 12 out of 19 projects already reaching completion.
But about this, Honorable Minister, our expectation is that from the initial connections that we will do, we should be able now to see how agro-processing, for example, is growing in this area. We have already heard about the plans of irrigation. We have also heard about the testimony of meats and fish that we have already started seeing, and we've already seen in terms of social public infrastructure that have been connected.
Minister of Energy Makozo Chikoti, represented by Western Province Minister Kapelwa Mbangweta, has acknowledged the over 88.2 million kwacha investment by RIA in Western Province and that the launch of the Shimano project represents the success of planned development efforts to attain universal access to electricity.
In Western Province, the government through RIA has invested in the last 3 years 88.2 million in electricity infrastructure, and during this period, RIA has completed 12 grid development projects targeting multiple communities across different districts, including the deployment of off-grid solutions such as the main grid in Shangombo and Limulunga.
As I speak, I'm speaking with vigor because the marketeers here in Shimano, their drinks used to expire. Whatever that they are selling which needs refrigeration, it was not working because there was no power.
Done at a cost of 4.1 million kwacha, the Shimano Grid Extension Project has seen 3.7 kilometers of high voltage lines to support key infrastructure in Shimano area, while the project is marked to have 180 connections in the initial stage. Also at Kafuanka, Prime TV News in Shimano, Nkema, Western Province.
5 suspected criminals have been shot dead following violent confrontations with police officers in Lusaka's Kalikiliki and Chubolia compounds. And that is one of the stories that are making headlines. We're wrapping up the news right now. A 75-year-old man of Katondo Township in Kaba Central Province has been reported missing for the past 2 weeks under unclear circumstances. The Opposition Patriotic Front, PF, on the Copperbelt has demanded the resignation of Kitwe Mayor Mposa Mpasa, Kasompe Ward Councillor Martin Lombe, and other PF councillors who have defected to the United Party for National Development, UPND. President Hakainde Hichilema has been conferred with the honorary doctorate of philosophy in investment and enterprise development. Thank you so much for watching the news. This has been Jessie Kalambo. Have a pleasant viewing.